today I want to talk about one of my favorite things, Erasmus, which you probably have heard of before. If you don't want to study in Europe, and the most important thing, I haven't thought about it that much before I started studying. Hello, and welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite things, which is studying abroad or just going abroad while you're still on the school track, study track, whatever. And yeah, there are a few possibilities. I will get right into it. So the first one, if you are a European, you can apply for Erasmus, which you probably have heard of before. I'm not sure if it's even called Erasmus Plus now. So normally, if you are at uni, then you have a few partner universities, and normally it's also that they are divided. Like each faculty has their own partner university, like sometimes obviously they overlap, but normally it's real divided and not all subjects have the same partner universities. Normally there's a list on your homepage, but you can also ask a person at your faculty about it. But like I said, normally there's a list, and basically then you can decide where you want to study. And in some countries it also is important to know the first language of the country, so then you are studying in the language of the home country. I think it's very common in France, Spain, and Italy, but especially nowadays a lot of countries also have English courses. They just might have less. You should check that before, especially if you also want to have credits for the subjects. If it's more for the experience, then maybe it's not that important. But if it's really also about what you're studying and the content and everything, then you maybe should focus on that a bit more. If you don't want to study in Europe, then there are also normally partner universities, and that now depends. Sometimes it's also like that. So sometimes you cannot study everywhere depending on which faculty you are studying at. But sometimes with the international partner universities, it's more likely that you can also study at another university. Then when it comes to the funding, so obviously you first have to apply directly at your university, because many other people might also apply for the same spot and maybe even with the same course or the same scientific background, or like similar, obviously. Also, if it's a really popular university, it could mean that you won't be able to go there. So sometimes you also have to list a few options, and then maybe only one option is possible, but also maybe more are possible depending on how many students apply for each university, basically. Yeah, in general for Erasmus it's a bit easier to get funding, I would say. At my old university they said that they said that every student that was there also got funding. But with international partner university it's a bit more difficult. You sometimes have to apply extra. By the way, sorry for the lighting, I love the sun. Okay. So it's a bit more difficult to get a funding, but there are also different organizations. The DAAD, I don't know if you've heard about that. One is a German institution that supports study semesters abroad with different programs, and it's definitely not as easy to get, but it's a possibility. And normally there should also be an option at your university, sometimes even because of the DAAD, sometimes then a bit less than other options, but yeah, still that's a possibility. And the most important thing, I haven't thought about it that much before I started studying, so I will just quickly explain. So, if you are studying at a partner university, that means that you don't have to pay for your courses. So, for example, in the US or Australia, I don't really know about all of the other places, especially there, studying is so expensive. And you probably, or like a lot of people, probably wouldn't be able to fund these experiences by themselves. So partner universities are very good because then you don't have to pay for the courses, but just the living expenses, the traveling costs, and then also health insurance sometimes. Yeah, all depending on whether you will get some funds or not. There are different options, but in general, that's the main thing why it is so good to have partner universities and why it's also important that you pick one of them and also get chosen for that kind of exchange. For Europe, I think it's a bit more realistic because depending on where you want to study, for example, if you want to study in Germany here, then the costs for studying are so much lower. Like, still, obviously, there are some costs, but if you compare these costs to other places, then it's still so good. So, yeah, you have to keep that in mind if you just choose one university that you think is good and has a very good program, or you just always wanted to go there because it looks nice, I don't know, has a good location. Yeah, it's a bit more difficult than that. Not saying that it's impossible. I mean, if you have enough money, then obviously go do that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. And sometimes, even when it comes to picking what you want to study, if you already know that you want to study this course at that university, you can already think about that before. You don't have to, but you can if it's like really that specific. Yeah. Okay, I think that's already all I wanted to say to that. I probably forgot so much. Ah, yeah, you can also do internships. Obviously, I forgot to tell you about that part, but I also think I don't know as much about that. I have done an internship abroad, but I organized that all by myself, so yeah, it's a bit different. But if you want to know more about that, then I can also do another video. So yeah, definitely let me know. Let me know about your experiences and your partner universities maybe, or what is your plan, your dream? Where did you always want to go? I really want to know. Or maybe you've already been there and maybe you haven't even known before that you like the place as much before. Yeah, I would really like to hear all the stories. So, yeah, see you soon and bye.